This is a bookball summary of the book Badass Habits by Sincero. There are certain habits we'd rather leave behind, such as chronic lateness and compulsive impulse shopping. When it comes to breaking old patterns and replacing them with better ones, change isn't always as straightforward as it seems. Don't lose hope though. It will be easier for you to chart a new course forward if you follow these steps. As you learn about unconscious biases, fears, and desires, you'll learn how established routines can be a shackle for you. After that, you'll be given simple, straightforward advice on how to break your entrenched habits and cultivate a new, more positive lifestyle. To change your habits, change who you are. Alice, at 30 years old, realised she was in a toxic relationship with sugar. She stopped buying and binging on snacks, sought advice from dietitians, and even watched documentaries demonising sucrose. To put it simply, a habit is a routine, action, or behaviour you engage in over and over again. Essentially, it's what you do when running on autopilot. Habits can be positive patterns, like always putting on your seatbelt when driving, or destructive ones, like constantly misplacing keys, jewellery, or other valuables. Habits work by connecting a trigger to a response, then connecting that response to a reward. Consider a habit like daily exercise. The trigger could be seeing your gym on the way home from work. The response would be then stopping in for 40 minutes of cardio. The rewards? The rush of endorphins and feeling of accomplishment. Importantly, the more often you follow this sequence, the more automatic and ingrained it becomes. Of course, you probably aren't aware that the sequence is taking place. If you're like most people, many of your habits are completely unconscious. So, the first step in making any change to your routines is to identify them. To change a habit, you have to be aware of it and reflect on your actions, as well as the thoughts and feelings associated with them. Once you become aware of the sequences behind your habits, you can consciously alter them by redefining your identity. Strong boundaries are the foundation for strong habits. You want to become a morning person, but the world gets in the way. You could have saved yourself from the struggle by setting clear boundaries. Think about how you feel when you wake up in a sour mood every day. Your morning should begin with a smile and a full yoga session, rather than staying up late and waking up exhausted. Mornings aren't your thing, but you're determined to change that. Unfortunately, the world interferes. The first thing that happens is that your boss asks you to come in early for a meeting that isn't important. Afterward, you go bar hopping all night with your friends. When dawn comes, you're more tired and washed up than ever. So much for being a morning person. Of course, it didn't have to be this way. By setting clear boundaries, you could have saved yourself a lot of time and effort. Building new habits requires that you remain in control of your time, energy, and emotions. This means consciously deciding how to interact with the world around you, and reflecting on what limits you think are necessary to pursue your goals. Consider what you will and won't do, what treatment you will and won't accept from others, and what factors are actually in your control. Oftentimes, you'll find these barriers aren't as defined as they should be. You may say yes to too much, or no to too little. For instance, if your goal is to become a vegetarian, you probably shouldn't accept an invitation to a barbecue restaurant. Maybe suggest a different spot instead. Or, if your aim is to stay calmer and more centered, you should probably avoid getting caught up in the latest social media drama. Try logging off when necessary. In the beginning, setting new boundaries can be a challenge. Try being firm in a few low-stakes situations first, and you may find that it's more fun than you expect. New habits stick when they align with your true desires. When you decide to adopt a puppy, you're motivated by true desire, so it's not even that scary. Imagine receiving a call from a friend. A puppy litter has just been born to her dog, she says, and it's very exciting. It's only natural that you would drop everything to go meet the new puppies. As you watch the furballs play, she asks if you'd like to adopt one. The logical part of your brain knows that having a pet is a big responsibility. The dog will need to be walked, fed, and taken to the veterinarian. This is going to be a big effort for you since you're already busy. The tiny puppy, however, is adorable. Finally, you decide to take on the responsibility after taking a deep breath. Take a moment to consider why you've chosen the habits you have. There is probably something deeper at play as well as rational thought behind each choice. And focusing on these deeper desires is often more effective than fixating on the actual habits themselves. Pursuing your ideal self isn't always easy. You'll sometimes get sidetracked even if you truly want something. Establish your new habit within 21 days of concentrated effort. You know where habits come from and how they connect to your true desires. Now it's time to make this dream a reality. It should take you about 3 weeks to make a new habit second nature. Start your 21-day sprint to a new you by setting a mantra. Repeat this statement whenever you start doubting your intentions or abilities. If you can keep to your new routine for this length of time, there's a good chance it'll become second nature. If that still seems like a daunting task, don't worry. Just take it one day at a time. There are even a few helpful tricks to help lighten the load. To make a habit stick, mark your calendar with a special pen or sticker every time you complete your new routine, and treat yourself to something positive you enjoy. After the first couple of days, your focus may be waning. So, take steps to smooth out the process. Anticipate and eliminate any triggers that may throw you off track. If you're trying to stop drinking, don't keep beer in the fridge, and plan for success by keeping a positive attitude. Whenever you're struggling, remind yourself how far you've come. If you mess up or miss a day, don't fall into despair. Instead, acknowledge the mistake and redouble your efforts. Developing a new habit isn't easy, but keep trying and it will happen. The goal of building good habits is to make the best version of yourself. Flip through a few old photo albums or scroll back through your social media feed. There are probably some awkward moments in there as well, but don't hit delete on them. When trying to cultivate new habits, remember to treat yourself with compassion and don't forget the things that make you happy. As you work through your 21 days of habit forming, remember why you've chosen to improve your habits in the first place. Continue loving what you love, laughing at what you find funny, and forgiving yourself for your small flaws and foibles. It isn't about becoming a flawless machine, but about creating positive routines that allow you to express yourself more. Keeping fit requires exercise or eating right, but it's really about building a healthy life that allows you to share more good times with loved ones. Thus, always stay true to your authentic self no matter what you do. Laugh at what you find funny, love what you love, and forgive yourself for your faults and foibles. You don't need to smooth out every wrinkle in your daily routine or rough edges in your personality. Sometimes those tiny quirks are what make you who you are. Most importantly, treat yourself with compassion. Our culture sometimes puts too much emphasis on perfection and success. It can give you unrealistic aspirations or shame you for being satisfied with your own life. So, in the end, the most crucial habit you can form is learning to love yourself. What's your most important key takeaway? Please comment down below and share the video if you like it. Check out these other 2 videos. Thank you, and until next time.